Good evening, I'm back. I'm your host, Jack Remington, the Jack Remington Political Analyst channel. I'm going to set my little timer here. So when the timer goes off, I got to cut the video out. I want to say happy birthday to the greatest president in American history of all time, and should have his own Mount Rushmore just for him. That is Donald John Trump, president number 45 and 47, and he's doing the job. If they hadn't tried to shot at him and kill him and put him in jail, he might have just kept rubber stamping some things and everything would have been fine. But no, after what they did to him, and since he got voted out in 2020 and he got back in, he knows what he has to do, and more power to him. And I voted for all this. A couple quick words about these ICE protests. And it's June 19th is Juneteenth, which I'm also against, but that's small potatoes compared to what's going on. They're still protesting and rioting in Los Angeles. Okay, they sent in sent in Marines, and Donald Trump sent in the National Guard, and Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass can't seem to stop this. I think after day 3, they said, well, we got a curfew. like these people that don't want to go back to the country that the flag is to keep waving at, like they have any brains anyway. These No Kings protests, well, I think they actually made a mistake with that, and I'm going to tell you why really quick. We haven't had king since July 4, 1776, and Donald Trump is not acting like a king. And I said this on the other video about a year ago, and I got removed because I had inflammatory content and scaremongering, whatever, fear-mongering. But all I said was Donald Trump did not get the military to rise up and lock up every member of Congress and their staffers and their families and put them in a gulag. Have FEMA put 50 camps in every county, which is 100,000 FEMA camps where they can just put tents up and just put zip ties, make them sleep on the ground. He didn't do any of that, okay? He didn't order his military to go out and start shooting Democrats, start shooting civilians, bringing the tanks, bringing the air guard. He didn't do any of that. If he really wanted to take over the country, and when I'm going back to 2020 and January 6th, if Donald Trump really wanted to take over the country, he didn't do a very good job of it then, and he's not doing a good job of it now. I'm going to touch on this briefly because I'm trying to keep the video short. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. February 1st, 2021, Joe Biden only been in office for 11 days. That was a real insurrection. And it happened in the country formerly named as Burma. It's called Myanmar. And Joe Biden even couldn't get the name of the country right. He kept calling it Burma. I think it was the PBS camera woman. She just inadvertently did a shot, and it showed his aides on his right side, our left side. He's trying to tell him it's Myanmar, not Burma. And Anthony Blinken was the second person behind the other person, by the way. They didn't take that video down. That's still up there if you go back 4 years and watch that video. This Donald John Trump guy, he just turned 79. He's the second oldest president. He's 3 years younger than Joe Biden guy. And Joe Biden never worked out one weekend in the White House in 4 years. And he never worked more than 3.5 hours any one day. Never. Not one time. And now there's a lot of talk about Joe Biden's audit pen and Joe Biden wasn't fit. That's not going to go anywhere because the Republicans and rhinos and Democrats, they don't have time for this thing. It's all one big uniparty, like Marjorie Taylor Greene did say that time in front of the world. And she's correct. This is a uniparty. They get along, go along. Republicans are weak. They have no spine. They have no balls. Senator Hawley of Missouri, Senator Kennedy of Louisiana, Senator Mike Lee of Utah, and Senator Cruz of Texas. Those 4 stand out to me as the only senators got any real balls. The rest of them are sellouts, and they're on the take. They're anti-Trump too, and they probably help plot and plan to get rid of Donald Trump. Let me get to the meat of this video. I have a couple jobs, a couple W-2 jobs, and here in California, I'm the only Republican. I'm the only Trumpster. One of them, you have to walk up a hill and make a turn to go to the office. 8-minute walk. A few times when something really bad's happened, or they're really angry, or they're wondering what's going on, they'll wait for me at the top of the hill. And it's only happened 3 times since I've been working at this one place. One time they were waiting for me, it was January 6th. I didn't even hear anything about it. They told me about it. But this last time they were here about the election of 2024. And they told me, okay, you got lucky, you got one, he's back in power. So what do you think? What's your prediction? And I got it here on what I put on Nextdoor, what I put on Facebook, and what I put on my other sites. And this is my prediction for this country in 2028. Okay, Gavin Newsom will be your next president. Their jaws dropped and hit the concrete. They couldn't believe what I said. They don't understand. Gavin Newsom is the most likable candidate out there. He's Bill Clinton Light 2.0, another likable candidate that people liked him, and you want to go out with a beer with him. He has the gift of gab, okay? He knows how to say things at the right time. I'm sure he's got speech coaches like Adolf Hitler used to have speech coaches. You see what I just did there? The Democrats are experts at this. Get to meld something together that's not likable. Maybe they're subconscious, they're underneath the sort of thing. We got to take a second or third look at this person, whatever. Gavin Newsom's got the biggest war chest And Gavin Newsom was a two-term governor of California, survived one recall because he's only got less than a year left. He's termed out in 2026. He has to leave the governor's office, and then Kamala Harris is going to try to walk right in there. RFK Jr. could have walked in there if he'd listened to Mark Rubé on America's Untold Stories. And Mark Rubé is correct about that, and he's correct about everything. He's correct about Matt Gaetz. He's correct about everything. And he's correct about this and what things I'm saying on my video today. But I'm not using his ideas. I'm using my ideas for this video. And I'm making my own mind. And you should too. Don't take everything I say as gospel. Look it up for yourself. And this Google AI is fantastic. There's a better AI that's going on, but I haven't had time to do the deep dive. But Gavin Newsom is going to be your next president. And hear me out when I say this, okay? In 2026 are the midterms. I made this prediction way before this ICE protests and this stuff happened in February. I know that they already got 45 seats that they shouldn't have in the House, okay? And they have maybe 7, maybe possibly 10 seats in the Senate that they shouldn't have. But they cheat. They cheat in elections. They get these close elections. I'm up to 51 elections since 2015, all throughout the country, midterms, whatever, special elections. 51 elections in a row. I can't find not one Republican winner where they have recounts and they go past the election day like California did. In the Orange County seat, it was a Republican woman, the Chinese American lady. She lost to this guy, a Democrat, never heard of him before. He was down by 12 points at the election, but 35 days later, he won by 400 some votes, wherever it was, and they had to seat him. The Democrats are going to kill the Republicans in 2026 in the midterms. And that's why they're paying for these No King protesters. By the way, I was told by my Democrat friend at work that 2/3 of these protesters out there are paid protesters. He showed me a link on Newport News, Virginia, Providence, Rhode Island, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Now, I'll get to that in a different video for a different day. And they're going to win the Senate. If they can win the House, they can win the Senate. I guess if Chuck Schumer can survive his race, I mean, AOC's going after his Senate seat. At least Stefanik, the Republican, who's a good politician, she can't win New York State. She doesn't understand that yet, but she's going to find out. New York is going like California. Hakeem Jeffries will be Speaker of the House. And on day one, they're going to come up, they'll dream up something that Donald Trump did with the ICE, or this Garcia clown from El Salvador. They'll dream up something, and they're going to impeach Donald Trump, whether it's true or not, okay? They're going to impeach him on day one. They're going to impeach J.D. Vance for being the mouthpiece for Donald Trump, okay? And Hakeem Jeffries is going to be the president, and I guess the Secretary of Defense, or whoever that's going to be at the time, might be the vice president. If it's Hegseth, that's going to be quite a spectacle. Gavin Newsom, he's likable. He's like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton Light 2.0, two-term governor of California. He's got the biggest war chest of any of the candidates. By the way, one of my football email sites sent me this. Gavin Newsom's the front runner for the DNC nominee for 2028. In other words, he's going to probably become president. And Trump can't run anymore. And people still think Trump's going to try to run for a third term. He's just trolling them. Trump is the best troller the Republicans are ever going to have. Back from his Kofi days. But that's what's going to happen. And it doesn't matter if it's factual or not. And by the letter of the law of the Constitution, in 1998 impeachment, I'm going to put this in my video, Bill Clinton was supposed to be automatically removed by Congress, but they went against the Constitution. They went against their own rules and regulations that they helped formate, okay, back in the day, okay, when they were finalizing the articles of impeachment under the Constitution for duties and actions of the president. Look it up for yourself. Don't take my word for it. But that one charge where he lied to Congress deliberately, and it was incontrovertible that he clearly lied, and he admitted that he had lied. So it was a confession that he lied. He got on public television and said, I was wrong, blah, blah, blah. And I watch it all the time. I love that video where he had to eat crow in front of the American public and apologize to his family, who he disgraced, by the way. And if Hillary had did her job as a wife of her daughter and left the White House, I'd have voted for her myself. And that's saying a lot. She'd be queen today. She'd be in power today had she had a pair and did what my mother did. When she caught my mother's second husband, and he brought some broad in the house, and my mother threw her out. She said, I'm leaving too. I'm following you, lady. So where are you going? You know? So me and my sisters and my brother, we got cobbled up, $1,000 or $2 and wired it to her. I was living in Western Maryland. I was working at the Army base. And I think she was in Baltimore. Got her an apartment, got her a car, and she was on her way. But she left. Okay, Hillary Clinton couldn't leave being first lady. Back to the matter at hand. But Gavin Newsom is going to be your next president. You can see the last 7 policy things he made, that he's changed direction and made news. One of them was this thing about the not letting the Menendez brothers out. He denied their parole. He gave a good explanation that the country was happy with. Gavin Newsom has to try to appeal to the other states. No matter how bad Gavin Newsom and his mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, is, no matter how bad they are, he's going to win California. And he won't even campaign here. He's got the West Coast in the bag. He needs to appeal to flyover country, and he's working on that. I'm telling you. He's probably got Maine, and he's got Connecticut, the other the Massachusetts. They vote for Elizabeth Warren every time for senator. She's the biggest liar next to Gavin Newsom, next to Obama and Hillary and all the other liars in the Democrat Party. They don't care. It's their voters. They don't care how bad they are. If they got a D by their name and they're not Trump, they're voting for him. That's the way it is in this country. I want to be wrong. I love it when I'm wrong, and I want to be wrong this time. But Gavin Newsom, he's going to destroy J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is probably going to be the nominee, and I think Marco Rubio is going to be the vice presidential candidate. Gavin Newsom is going to destroy them, although he got destroyed in his debate against Ron DeSantis and other. I mean, he's not a good debater, but he will be by the time he runs for president. He gets termed out in 2026. He'll have nothing to do but go back to his speech lessons, his consulting. He's going to hire a bunch of consultants. Maybe I should become a consultant for Gavin Newsom. He might hire me. I mean, he's hiring people left and right. And yeah, but you look at that Cal Matters and you see what Gavin Newsom is doing. Don't take my word for any of this. And he even denied, I'm not even thinking about the running for president. I'm here to tell you, I'm in California. I'm in the heat of the battle here. He wants the presidency in the worst way. I think he wants it worse than Hillary Clinton did, and that's saying something. He is going to run for president in 2028. He's going to destroy AOC. He's going to destroy Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan. He's going to destroy Elizabeth Warren. He's going to destroy Bernie Sanders if he runs again. He's going to destroy everybody. Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania is probably the best candidate and does the most for his state, and he would probably be good for the country. But guess what? He's Jewish. And that's a no-go. That's a non-starter, no mas. And a quick word about these illegal aliens. This No Kings protest, like I said, I didn't know we had kings. We got rid of the kings July 4, 1776. So I think the Democrats might have and the Republican rhinos made a mistake with that. If Trump can get off his ass and get rid of this Pam Blondie chick that does nothing. And by the way, let me sneak this in here before I say my farewells. Trump needs to make the switch and make Pam Blondie, or Pam, well, her real name is Pam Bondi. I call her Pam Blondie. And I got an in-action figure meme. She just has done nothing in 6 months except get $1,000 outfits every day. She's walking down the walkway. Make sure she gets the press, get the photo op, and she eats that up. Okay. But Trump needs to make the switch. He needs to make Harmeet Dillon, the Asian Indian American, who is a very, very good person, very solid, very thoughtful, very detailed prosecuting attorney. Trump needs to make her the number one and make Pam Blondie number two. Make her, keep her walking down that walkway, and she'd probably be happy with that because she's a plant and she's a coward. So, and yeah, I'm leaving my video, although I had so much hope for Pam Bondi. Kash Patel and Bongino, the number 2 person, they're running scared. What are they running scared of? Well, go back to 2016 when Jeff Sessions, I'm the first person that jumped on board of the Trump train, and I'm going to do this for Trump. And then when it came time for the Russian collusion hoax, he recused himself with no evidence because he was afraid of something and somebody, wasn't he? Think about that, folks. And William Barr, he was put there by the deep state, keep Trump in line, keep Trump busy. That's a different video for a different day. The video's too long, I gotta do some cutting. Just face it, Gavin Newsom's gonna be your next president. The Democrats are gonna win the House in 2026 midterms. They're gonna win enough Senate seats in 2026 to take over the Senate, and they're gonna impeach Donald Trump. He will be the first president removed from office. You heard it here first, folks. Save this video. God bless America. I hope I'm wrong. Please let me be wrong. Make me be wrong somehow, okay? The people that are voting for these illegal aliens, they get counted in the census for apportionment for the House of Representatives. That's why they're really here. Yeah, some of them vote in the elections, but they've sidestepped the election fraud. That's not even in their top 3 list about the election fraud. Some of them even admit it's going on. And Stacey Abrams slipped in her, when Ted Cruz was questioning her, Senator Mike Lee of Utah was questioning her. She admitted she used illegal aliens, but Governor Kemp did it too. Well, that doesn't make it right, okay? And he probably did, because if he didn't, he would have lost the election. And he knows that. They're only here because they get counted in the census illegally. You know, forget the Dred Scott decision in 1857, 100 years before I was born, that they counted black people as 3/5 of a person. That way they wouldn't overtake Congress, right? That's why that was done, folks. It's about apportionment for the House, okay? end the cheap labor. The Democrats want the votes and the apportionment. Republicans and some Democrats, they want the cheap labor. They all got nannies and they don't pay them nothing. They don't pay them at all. A lot of slave labor that's coming out too, thanks to Holman. And Holman's my hero too. But you know what? He can only do so much. Donald Trump, bless you, bless ICE, bless Tom Holman, bless Kristi Noem, bless Hegseth, bless the cabinet, except Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. Big disappointments. But bless everybody else. Bless our country. Bless our founding fathers who knew the evils of human nature, planned accordingly. We're the greatest country on the face of the earth. If you're born in this country, you're 3% of the population. You're already part of the elite, and you don't know it yet. I have better than 98% of the people on this planet, and I appreciate my country. I appreciate what was done for me and the opportunities I've had for me and my family. And I love this country so much that I want to see it do well. I want to get rid of these people that are just full of hate and they're destructive. They just cannot be dealt with. They're irredeemable. I'm leaving it on my channel. It's my channel. If YouTube kicks me off, what my wife, the prediction that they are going to kick me off and we're both going to get fired from our jobs, I'll take it to locals.com where I don't think they can kick me off. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you. Have a great day. God bless America.